What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I might get in trouble for this one, but I might get in trouble for this one. I got Miss Tracy to do me a couple of shirts. You know, this is the Help Wanted coach shirt. And then I got this one. This one, ooh, I love this. I absolutely positively. Okay, let me get closer to show you. Okay, so this is the Help Wanted. Okay? Help Wanted Cowboys coach. Lapdog, Fall Guy, Yes Man, Worker Bee, Bobblehead, and strong ability to do more with less. That's what you got to have if you're going to be the coach of the Cowboys. And then there's this one. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm serious. Can you see it? Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, it's come to that. So we're beginning to get all of the information of what's happened because Jerry Jones had all planned for Mike McCarthy to come back. He figured that Mike McCarthy was so desperate that he could offer him anything and he'd take it. So apparently, Jerry wanted to give him a 1 year deal, incentive laden, and a $500,000 raise. Now keep in mind, he's getting paid $4 million, second lowest in the NFL. Whereas Sean Payton, $18 million. Mike Tomlin, $16 million. Mike Tomlin 4 times as much as Mike McCarthy. And surprisingly, Mike McCarthy has more playoff wins than both of those guys. Both of them. And so Jerry figured he's not going to get any offers. We the boys. Nobody's going to turn us down. We can just offer him crumbs. And Mike McCarthy said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm gone. I'm tired of this. You know, you can be broke at home. And that's where Jerry Jones literally got help left holding the bag and scrambling now. And Jerry Jones is now going it alone and trying to figure out who should be the next coach. Now, I'm going to say, of course he called Dion, who may be using Jerry. This is where all this stuff kind of gets to be funny. That everything Jerry Jones has been doing has been blowing up in his face. He figured, I'll bring back Mike McCarthy. He's going to be desperate for a job. I can offer him anything, and we're fine. And then he can literally be like the dog that we smacked in the nose because he pissed on the floor. That he's going to, that he's just going to cower to him for another year. And he bucked up and said, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I'm out of here. And surprised the hell out of the Joneses. Dumb and Dumber. So you talk to Dion. Hey, Dion, it's Jerry Jones. You know, hey, you remember when I signed you back in the 90s and we won that Super Bowl together and stuff? And, you know, Dion, hey, yeah, this is good, man. You know what? I'm going to use Jerry Jones to help me get a better contract where I am. Literally talking to Jerry, you know, comes across. They've had contact, and they're going to continue to have mutual talks. And he's at the head of the list. And Jerry Jones is loving that. But then Primetime kind of said, it was really nice to talk to Jerry. But, I'm happy where I am here in Colorado, my players, my community, and about it being about football. Because his contract is on the table of the Regents. Dion used Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy said, take this job and shove it. And then you've got Troy Aikman literally telling you, because of the Joneses, this ain't a coveted job. This is a pooch screw. Everything is falling on top of Jerry Jones and looks like shit. Looks like shit. I said he needs to make a big splash to win back the fans. If anything, this has made it look worse. Because Mike McCarthy isn't the sole problem. In the same way I say Dak Prescott isn't the sole problem with the Cowboys. So what's going to be the solution? I honestly think in the end of the game, when this is all said and done, it's going to end up being Mike Zimmer. The Joneses like familiarity. They like somebody that they control. They say they need a culture change. I think they need to release the Kraken of the old Mike Zimmer. Not the Mike Zimmer's coming in and things were pretty good for him when I got here, and I'm feeling my way around in here, and I'm gonna kind of step back some. They need guys to get healthy. I think Mike Zimmer becomes the head coach. I would like to see Al Harris stay and become the defensive coordinator. I'm not sure who becomes the offensive coordinator, but maybe it's Brian Schottenheimer. And hear me out on this while I say this, because statistically, if you take Russell Wilson's best year with the Seattle Seahawks, Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. And I dare say that Brian Schottenheimer could get a little bit of his dad in him and want to run the ball more. Because, see, here's the thing with Mike McCarthy. It's kind of like being a husband. None of us like to take out the trash. Do you like to take out the trash? Do you get excited and say, oh my God, I get to take out the trash, right? No, we don't. But we know it's something we have to do if we want to keep the peace. We don't take out the trash, especially when she said, can you take out the trash? Don't wait 5 seconds. Because they'll be, never mind, I'll take it out, and they'll throw it into your workshop. We have to take out the trash because we have to take out the trash. We don't want to take out the trash. But that's Mike McCarthy. When Mike McCarthy won the Super Bowl, his leading back had 700 and some odd yards running. But he had 4 wide receivers, he had Aaron Rodgers, and so they were throwing the ball around and using that as elongated handoffs. I think the Cowboys will now revert back to getting back to some of the Cowboys' mystique and identity, which was having a strong running game. Have a strong running game, and you're able to play action and do so many other things with it. You've seen the NFL this past year, after 3 years ago when they literally said, don't let your kids grow up to be running backs. They're not going to get paid. To now seeing the value of the running back in the running game in football again. Saquon, Derrick Henry, those guys are the kings of the NFL, and their teams are rolling because they are. every time the pendulum swings, it always swings back. And that's what's happened. This pendulum has swung back to where running the football is big again on offenses. And I think the Cowboys will try and get more of a balance and get that running game going. And maybe you end up seeing the Cowboys go for an Alvin Gentry to go along with Rico. And when you hear Micah Parsons, who definitely seems to have gotten to love Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer became his dog in the way that Dan Quinn was. When we first had Mike Zimmer hired, you kind of felt like there was going to be a tension between Mike Zimmer and Micah Parsons, where Micah Parsons kind of like, I like to do things my way. I'm sure Zim likes to do this, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, ooh. But you see, if Micah Parsons hadn't gotten injured, man, he might have had 18, 19 sacks. Might have. The way he was rolling, he had 11 and a half sacks coming back, people. So maybe that's where Jerry looks and says, I don't want to blow up everything and start completely over. And that's how you can do that. You can continue the process you started on the defense and not have your third defensive coordinator in 3 years. If you hold on to Schottenheimer, you still have some consistency with the offense that you started building. And if you decide that you want to have a new coach in waiting, that's when you bring in Jason Witten to learn from Mike Zimmer, because I don't think Mike Zimmer at 68 marrying a younger woman is looking at this to be a 5-year deal. Maybe he signs a 2-year deal to be the head coach, and you train up Jason Witten to take his job. Sounds like a better plan than what Jerry Jones has right now. So, I don't know. Only time will tell what it's going to be. But in the meantime, it's a mess. It's truly a mess. Alrighty, good people. I appreciate y'all. And as always, keep the faith. We got nowhere to go but up. And remember, tell the people you love how much you love them, man. With all the constant reminders of how life is precious and how everything can change just like that. With all of the people out in California right now that have lost their homes and lost everything, and more still to come. It's crazy. I love you guys. And as always, God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.